That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, we've talked a lot about Superman, rightfully so, today, but lest you forget, just a couple of weeks after Superman, we got the newest Marvel film, The Fantastic Four, is coming and it's on its way. We talked last week, Rob, about the fact that they actually just set the record, the 2025 record for the highest ticket sales on their first day of pre-sales release. That was from Fandango. Most first day ticket sales. And we've had a couple of films this year that have flirted with the $1 billion mark between Minecraft, Lilo and Stitch, you know, a couple of big films. And they're saying Fantastic Four sold the most pre-sale tickets out of any of them this year. That's great. Well, now we know something. We got another number, Rob. Coming to us right now from the direct and from AMC Theaters directly, we now know the runtime of Fantastic Four. And it's going to be the longest running in the Fantastic Four series by a lot. As AMC Theaters is reporting, the runtime of Fantastic Four is almost to the minute the exact same length of Superman. Superman is, I believe, 2 hours and 9 minutes, I think. Fantastic Four is 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now, as we compare this to the other Fantastic Fours, of course, we've got the all-time classic, the Fantastic Four 1994. That one was 90 minutes, the Roger Corman one. Then, next longest, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer was just 92 minutes. The next longest was the Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller Fantastic Four in 2015. That was 100 minutes. Then, next longest, the first of the Michael Chiklis, Chris Evans Fantastic Four films, Fantastic Four in 2005, was 106 minutes. And now, blowing that all away, the new Fantastic Four goes from 106 to 130 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes, almost a half hour longer than the previous longest one in the run. Now, while this is going to be the longest Fantastic Four film we've ever had, it's still a modest runtime compared to the MCU. Now, the MCU has had some real long ones. They've had a couple going to the 3 hour mark, but a lot of them come in between the 2.5 hour mark. So we got the runtime now, 2 hours, 10 minutes. Rob, this is by far the longest of any Fantastic Four movie we've had, like nearly a half hour longer than the next longest one. What do you think about the runtime? Does that tell you anything about the pacing it may have? Maybe some story points they will or won't touch on because of this? What do you think?
To me, it seems fine. I mean, in terms of a length, it's the introduction of these characters within the MCU. So I think you've got to set up the world. You have to set up the milieu that the Fantastic Four exist in. And then you have to introduce a threat, Galactus. I mean, there's word that the Mole Man is in this movie too. So there's all kinds of things that they have to do and then make it work. So to me, anything, this is not egregiously long. And remember, 10 minutes of this, 8 minutes will probably be credits because Marvel movies have those long because so many people worked on them. So it seems like this is right in the ballpark to be exactly what it should be. It doesn't surprise me at all, but I'm surprised that there were Fantastic Four movies that were only 92 or 97 minutes long.
Yeah, I think about that. I was like, well, that was
like wild. But no, I think this is probably right in the sweet spot. And I mean, I don't think if it was 2.5 hours long, I'd be like, that's a little long.
There's still a lot of film fans who think longer equals better, which we've seen many times. That's not true.
No.
But do you also think that this is kind of a situation of the pendulum swinging a bit the other way? Because it was just a couple of years ago that we started to see a trend of movies getting longer and longer. And then even at the Academy Awards, they made fun of it a lot, saying make it literally, and a lot of film fans started complaining about how long movies were getting. Now we're getting Superman, 2 hours, 9 minutes. We're getting Fantastic Four, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Do you think part of this is a bit of a response to the trend that we were seeing about them getting longer and longer?
No, I just think that movies have to kind of know what they are. And movies as a form, like a romantic comedy, like a Woody Allen, like Annie Hall can be, or When Harry Met Sally can be like 97 minutes. That makes sense. Bigger films like Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back float between 121 and 125 minutes. That works.
Yeah.
And I think that this is exactly probably the right time for this particular movie. If it was 2.5 hours or even 2:45, I'd be like, nah, something seems a little off. This to me seems like it's right where it's supposed to be because, you know, it tells me that the film, especially Superman, I mean, this is going to be, I think, a fast-paced film. It's chock-a-block full of interesting stuff. It'll be interesting. I'm sure the pace is going to be very swift. And same with this. I mean, this movie's got to do a lot of different things. So to me, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to see both films. And it sounds to me like both films have a handle on what they're supposed to be. I mean, we'll know in a month and a half.
I want to respond to this. One of our regular live viewers, one of our great community members, Ron H, in the live chat, is saying something that I think a lot of people misinterpret. He said in the live chat, long is only long if the story sucks. If the story is great and well presented, time just flies by. That's only true if the movie isn't too long. If you can have a great story will have a runtime that's right for it. If you make it 20 minutes longer than it should be, even a great story starts to feel dry. A great story where a director doesn't know how to cut it down to its right length. You can have a great story, and if it's 20 minutes too long, like longer than it should be, it starts to feel slow. It starts to feel predictable. It starts to feel like it drags in places. So having a great story only works in your favor if, as the director and the filmmakers, you have a good sense of what, not only do we have a good story, but what is the right runtime for this story to tell the story properly, and not to cut it too short where you're leaving stuff out, but not to cut it too long where you're dragging things out either.
I agree. I mean, one of my favorite movies is The Right Stuff, and it's 3 hours and 15 minutes, and to me, it goes by like a shot.
Yeah, and there are movies that are 2 hours long that feel too long. There are movies that are 3 hours long that feel like they're too short. Again, every movie is going to have every story is going to have its unique runtime that brings out its most effective potency. You know what I'm saying? We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, you know I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Fantastic Four is not super long for a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie by other film standards, but by far the longest of any Fantastic Four film we've ever had before. However you guys feel about that, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.